Recent reports indicate an increase in the number of women in leadership positions and in higher decision-making positions. Women representation at all levels accounts for 45%. In the legislature, women representation is 34%. During the Women's Banquet and 90-day campaign, women in leadership encouraged young women to position themselves and also be change makers, irrespective of their status.
What we must realize is that until we have equal opportunities, we can never develop. That one is a fact. We can even take it at family level. If we have a family that only advances one gender and ignores the other, it can never develop at its full potential. The gender that is marginalized will always be a burden to the gender that's prioritized.
The Director Path Uganda, Dr. Mirembe, applauded government for providing space for education for all. She also commended the government for the strides in reducing maternal mortality and reducing the HIV prevalence among young women.
To the leadership of this country, especially His Excellency the President, for all that has been done in this space. But we also acknowledge all leaders at different stages for all things that you have done and kept us going.
The Vice Chairperson, Private Sector Foundation Uganda, Sarah Kajingo, noted that although women form the biggest percentage in the private sector, there are still limitations towards their performance, like heavy taxes and high collateral for loan acquisition.
The cost of capital in Uganda is still high. And while women are very entrepreneurial, act to finance Right Honorable Prime Minister is a challenge for women because we do not own collateral. The land titles, the homes are not owned by us. But even if we do, the interests are very high.
Prime Minister Robina Nabanja, who was the chief guest at the event, noted that the proportion of women who are in decision-making positions and also property owners has significantly increased compared to the past. She attributed the results to the government's agenda of women empowerment.
This year's 90-day women campaign, whose theme is women economic empowerment, financing, leadership, and health. This theme was brought to cabinet and we passed it because you really see that it is very important and it is truly relevant to the programs the NRM government under the wise leadership of His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has pursued over the years to facilitate women empowerment and gender equality.
Nabanja challenged women in decision-making positions to be champions in supporting young women to embrace leadership opportunities, irrespective of their status. Nonetheless, Prime Minister Robina Nabanja was dismayed by school dropout rates of girls, which caused setbacks towards women empowerment.
Despite all these achievements, we still have high dropout rates and low completion rates in schools. And to me, this has negatively impacted on our achievement as women. And so I request that fellow women who are here, let us fight to make sure that even the poor can go and attain education in government schools.
This year's Women's Banquet brought together women from all levels of leadership and was celebrated under the theme Invest in Women and Accelerate Progress. Susan Nawanga, Andrew Sebira compiled this report.